Riggs and Murtagh, Tango and Cash, Starsky and Hutch, John McClane, Frank Bullitt, Dirty Harry Callahan.
Now you have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya, punks?
While those are tough movie cops, none of them are as hard as nails as perhaps the toughest, most dangerous movie cop of all time.
I'm Lieutenant Frank Drebin, Police Squad. And don't ever let me catch you guys in America.
So unnecessary.
Jump back to 1980. Leslie Nielsen was a character actor best known for playing deadpan, ultra-serious roles. He was typically the bad guy of the week on TV shows and TV movies, and his biggest claim to fame at the time was playing the captain in 1956's Forbidden Planet. People used to make fun of him for being so stiff and humorless. His career was pretty middling at the time, but David Zucker, James Abrams, and Jerry Zucker, aka Zaz, Zucker Abrams Zucker, wanted to cast him in their movie Airplane. He would play the third lead, a deadpan doctor that would perfectly ape similar roles he played in movies like The Poseidon Adventure. While the studio initially balked, saying that Nielsen's the kind of guy you cast the night before shooting starts rather than actually want, the directors had their way, and to everyone's surprise, the movie was a mammoth blockbuster. What's more, every critic singled out Nielsen's hilariously deadpan performance, and suddenly, Leslie Nielsen was a bona fide comedy star.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Yet, Airplane didn't really make him a top draw at the box office, although it certainly elevated his status in Hollywood. He stayed pretty loyal to his Airplane directors, skipping the sequel when he heard they weren't coming back. Turned out to be a pretty good move. They actually had plans for him at the time, with them developing a TV show called Police Squad. It was designed as a takeoff on the popular cop shows the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and in it he would play a none-too-bright cop named Frank Drebin, who would narrate the show in Nielsen's classic deadpan style.
There'd been a recent wave of gorgeous fashion models found naked and unconscious in laundromats on the West Side. Unfortunately, I was assigned to investigate holdups at neighborhood credit unions.
Despite some rave reviews, Police Squad was canceled after 6 episodes.
Hey, wait a minute. What happened? What happens next? Come on, let's see the next episode.
That's it.
What?
The show was canceled after that.
And Nielsen went back to the kinds of roles he played in the 70s, playing a college dean in the, well, let's say problematic Soul Man, a rapist in the Barbra Streisand movie Nuts, and other undistinguished parts, although he was pretty great in Creepshow opposite Ted Danson.
No, that's a trick. You son of a bitch! That's some kind of special effects trick in there.
You just take a look at the VCR back there. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't turn your head.
Yet, Team Zaz still felt that their character, Frank Drebin, had a lot of potential. They convinced Paramount Pictures to finance a big-screen version of the show called The Naked Gun from the files of Police Squad. They couldn't just use the name Police Squad because at the time the Police Academy series was riding high, and they didn't want to confuse people.
Frank, they're not here for you. Weird Al Yankovic is on the plane.
Nielsen would return as Drebin, opposite a unique cast that included George Kennedy, a legendary character actor, as Drebin's boss.
He's alive, Frank, though he's on life support. Doctors say he's got a 50-50 chance of living, though there's only a 10% chance of that.
And the somewhat, let's use that phrase problematic again, O.J. Simpson as his beloved partner Nordberg.
Hey, nurse, quick, give this man some drugs. Quick, can't you see he's in pain? No. Give him a shot, quickly.
No. Heroin, Frank.
Nordberg, that's a pretty tall order. You're gonna have to give me a couple of days on that one.
Well, Simpson wasn't problematic in 1988, but as Nielsen himself later said, he became known for something other than comedy as the years went by. Perhaps the most unconventional piece of casting was Priscilla Presley, who, of course, was known mostly then for being the late Elvis Presley's ex-wife. Presley's acting career had gotten off to a quiet start via some TV roles, but the gorgeous actress proved to be shockingly adept at comedy.
Nice beaver.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Let me help you with that.
Most importantly, her chemistry with the bumbling Nielsen was pitch perfect, with her always citing him as a dream co-star.
I'm boiling a roast. How hot and wet do you like it?
Very hot and awfully wet.
While the TV series mostly mocked other cop shows, The Naked Gun, with its bigger budget, served as more of a spoof of the Dirty Harry series, with several scenes directly riffing on classic moments from the first film.
Callahan, I don't want any more trouble like you had last year in the Fillmore district. Understand? That's my policy.
Yeah, well, when an adult male is chasing a female with intent to commit rape, I shoot the bastard. That's my policy.
Oh, Drebin, I don't want any more trouble like you had last year on the South Side. Understand? That's my policy.
Yes, well, when I see 5 weirdos dressed in togas stabbing a guy in the middle of the park in full view of 100 people, I shoot the bastards. That's my policy.
That was a Shakespeare in the Park production of Julius Caesar, you moron.
In the movie, Drebin, after single-handedly demolishing a room full of America's greatest adversaries in the opening, including Idi Amin and a mohawk-wearing Ayatollah, has to prove that his partner Nordberg, played by Simpson, is innocent of a trumped-up drug charge. Making matters worse, Nordberg is on his deathbed after an ambush, something not helped by the fact that Drebin accidentally keeps injuring him further every time he goes to visit him. Eventually, the path leads to a drug-running businessman named Vincent Ludwig, played by Khan himself, Ricardo Montalban, who sicks his sexy secretary on Drebin to distract him, only for her to be powerless against Drebin's seductive charms. The movie's premise, which centers around Ludwig's plot to assassinate the Queen using sleeper assassins, is actually lifted from an old Charles Bronson movie called Telephone. The movie itself is a complete blast with surprisingly tight action that's expertly mixed with non-stop hilarity. It's probably one of the funniest films ever made, to be honest.
There's something on the side of your mouth, Al. No, the other side.
With even throwaway gags including Drebin and Jane walking out of Oliver Stone's platoon in hysterics being top shelf, Nielsen himself is superb as the none too bright but heroic Drebin. If ever Nielsen was cast to perfection, this was the part, with him loving the role so much that he had Ira Newborn's theme song for the series play at his funeral.
He was out when they were out of the baseline.
All right, I've had enough. You're out of here.
What do you mean? You can't go enough far out of the game.
Yeah. All right, you're out of here.
Presley is shockingly funny as Drebin's love interest, with the romance pretty convincing, and Kennedy is a riot, sending up his iconic airport character roles as Drebin's boss and best pal. Even O.J. Simpson is really funny as Nordberg, although watching him dressed in black stalking around heavily armed in the opening sequences has a bit of a different context now than it did way back in 1988.
Nordberg, me, Frank, your buddy.
The film was a smash hit at the box office, grossing $78 million domestically, which was pretty hefty for the era, and about the same amount overseas. Considering the movie only cost about $12 million, it was a huge blockbuster, and that's not even counting video and cable. It spawned a very profitable franchise for the studio and made Nielsen a bankable comedy star, although for my money, no one ever used him quite as well as Zucker Abrams and Zucker. So that's it for The Naked Gun. If you like this video, let us know in the comments, and hey, maybe we'll cover the rest of the series.
Nordberg, that's wonderful. Whoa!
Oh, Frank, everyone should have a friend like you.